So stewardship is about managing what? The time God gave me, the talent God gave me, and the treasure God gave me for the advancement of the kingdom. How am I handling the time? So notice, stewardship is more than just about money. It's about how do I handle everything that God gave me. I got 24 hours in a day, nobody saved. I got 24 hours in a day, nobody prayed for. I got 24 hours in a day, nobody encouraged. I got 24 hours in a day, nobody invited to the kingdom. I got 24 hours in a day, nobody invited to anything. I didn't invite people to church. I didn't do anything. What did I do with my 24 hours that God gave me? You know what I did with it? I slept 8 hours. I ate 3 hours. I watched a movie. I went for a walk. I worked out, did my exercise. I got my hair done. I got my nails done. I went shopping. I had a good time. I talked on the phone to my friends. And then I gave God this last hour and a half where I can go to a Bible study. Imagine if God just asked you for inventory of the last 24 hours. If he just said, okay, just tell me how you handle the last 24. So stewardship is about now managing my time. I'm making sense. Managing my talent and managing my treasure. It's not, whenever we talk about stewardship, everybody gets very sad because they immediately go to money. But that's because we're not operating with the character and the right values. We're not thinking about how do I manage everything that God gave me and what all did God give me. He made me articulate. So I do presentations at work, but I don't do anything for God. He's given me a house. He's made me very popular. He's given me influence over people. And so I got friends everywhere. But I won't do a small group. So I only use my charisma and the gift that God gave me and the gift of the gab to increase my network. So I know somebody in New York. I know somebody in Paris. I got friends all over. And everywhere I go, I've never met a stranger. And I'm saying, and none of your strangers ever met God. Time, talent, and treasure. So when we think about stewardship, think about it. We can go even deeper, saints of God, and think about how do I manage? God gave me this body. So how am I managing this body? It's a gift. So how am I managing the welfare and the well-being of this gift that God gave me? Am I monitoring it and managing it so that it can be efficient for God's use? Or am I responsible for body abuse? Because I'm treating God's body not like it's a tool to advance his kingdom. I'm treating God's body like it's a tool for my enjoyment. So if we thought about stewardship differently, then we would say, wait a minute, this is God's. So let me make sure I can monitor and maintain it. This is God's. This is God's. So let me not segment myself off. This is God's. Let me check how I'm feeling, my mental health. This is God's. Let me check my physical health. This is God's. This ain't mine. And my father-in-law, Mr. Lynch, he was an avid. He was a great caretaker, and when he would come and he would visit me and Felicia's home, I mean, he's just natural. He would be walking around the house just, and then he'd be walking around outside, and I'd be like, oh, he gonna get me, something I missed, and he'd be like, you know, that left tire is a little low. Your left rear one is a little low. It's a little low. And, you know, those filters, they need to be changed. If you change the filters, Your AC will last longer. You know, when I went to the other room, the light bulb was out. And now here's the deal, not critical. He had an eye for detail in managing. So his thing was, you got a house, take care of the house. You got a car, take care of the car. I'm making sense. You got an AC unit that you're paying for, take care of it. Am I making sense? And so think about it. So what if God said, okay, you got a breathing unit called your lungs, take care of them. You got a back, take care of it. Because that body is what we use to operate. You can't win disciples if you in the emergency room every other week. Unless God has called you to the emergency doctor. And so stewardship is about managing our time, talent, and treasure for the advancement of the kingdom. See, notice we think about this, we just say it's about managing my time, talent, and treasure. And we put a period right there. The problem with that is you don't think about managing his stuff for his desires. He's about the kingdom, right? So I'm thinking, man, am I managing God's time, talent, and treasure for the advancement of his kingdom? Am I managing my body for the advancement of his kingdom? Am I managing my mental health for the advancement of his kingdom? Why? Because God's got to use me. I'm the tool. So if I'm broken, how is discipleship going to work? If I'm very sad, how is discipleship going to work? Come on now. Yeah, come on now. Yes, sir. Am I making sense? So stewardship helps to clarify my purpose in the world. So the thing that makes drivers so wonderful to me is when you understand drivers, they start answering a lot of basic questions that we have. Think about it. Everybody wants to know, what's my purpose? I'm searching God for my purpose. I'm praying and fasting this year for my purpose. I'm asking God to speak about my purpose. I'm on a 21-day journey trying to figure out what my purpose is. I'm reading my purpose life and my purpose thinking and my purpose dreaming and my purpose vision. I'm doing all this stuff. And so no one slows it down and says, wait a minute, if I belong to God, then the question is, what does he want done? Because I'm his. So how do I manage his stuff for the advancement of his will? Matthew 28:19, go ye therefore and make disciples. So that means my purpose is I'm assigned by God as a minister of reconciliation. Why am I living? I'm living because somebody needs to be made a disciple. Am I making sense? The reason why I'm still breathing is because disciples need to be made. So God has assigned me the task of living on this earth for X amount of years so that I can make disciples. So then what if he said, I'm going to give you 88 years, how many disciples are you going to bring in? If my purpose question can always be answered, saints, when I think that I'm a part of God's redemptive plan. Go ye therefore and make disciples in all the nations. So the reason why I'm living is God is still redeeming people. So the reason why I'm living in the town I'm living in is because there are people in this area who need to be redeemed. The reason why he invented the internet while I'm living was not so that I could use it as a tool to just get me a wife, get me a husband, a tool to find me a good place to eat, a tool so that I can get directions to places. So I only use technology to suit me. Can I use technology then to advance his will? So stewardship clarifies my purpose. I don't have to walk around thinking about what I got to do. I got to know that a steward should be found faithful. 1 Corinthians 4:2. So if I'm a steward, what is my goal in life? To be found faithful. I want God to look at me and say, well done, my good and faithful. So my goal in life is for God to look at me and say, man, you're faithful. Woman of God, you're faithful. So what am I looking for? I'm asking God, how can I be faithful in the duties? How can I be diligent in what you asked me to do? How can I be concerned about your people? And how can I be concerned about your stuff? And how can I make your will come to pass? How do we know this is true, Dr. Moody? Because when we look at the parables, there's 4 parables here. They're listed in your book also. But if you look at these parables, the 5 wise and 5 foolish virgins, Matthew 25, 1-13. They were given a specific amount of time, a specific amount of oil, a lamp, a headpiece, a coin, and they even had a man come and say, will you marry me? So they got a future covenant online. So now all you got to do now, because the man now, what does he do? He seeks your father's hand. He leaves a dowry. So he left an investment. He's left a guarantee that he's going to come back. He leaves. So the man leaves. You got the dowry. You got the coin around your neck. You got the headpiece telling everybody now you're engaged. You got a lamp. And all you got to do is keep it burning. So keep oil in your lamp and keep it burning. When my man gonna come? Don't worry about it. Just keep the oil burning, keep the headpiece, and keep the coin. Is it gonna come on Thursday? Don't worry about it. You ain't got to worry about none of that. Is the house ready? You don't have to worry about none of that. All you got to worry about is keeping the oil, the headpiece, and the coin. Now, how much simpler in life could life be? Could you imagine somebody says, your goal for the next 3 years is to handle this lamp, hold on to this coin, and keep this hat on. That's all you got to do. Keep the hat on, hold on to this coin, and keep the lamp. Don't worry about building. Don't worry about nothing else. And in fact, I'm going to let you hang out with people who got a hat, who got coins, and a lamp. So even if you were to forget, you can look at them across the room and say, well, got my hat, got my coin, got my lamp. So Richard, they leave. They leave, Deke. They leave. The bridegroom leaves. And then all of a sudden, you hanging out with your friends. Now, what do you have to keep? The coin, the hat, and the lamp. What else you got to do with your life? Nothing. So you just got to be a wise steward over the coin, over the headpiece, and over the lamp. Somebody, look, your life is about managing that. That's it. And the text says what? A groom comes back, according to Jewish history, the bridegroom's friend would be yelling, the bridegroom is coming. So you would hear bridegroom, and you didn't know whose bridegroom it was, but it was cool. You know why? Because you had your coin, and there was 5 foolish virgins who was hanging out so long that their lamps went out. They had ran out of oil. And so the bridegroom comes. They all go into the wedding feast. Everybody who has a Hat, a coin, and a lamp. They all go in. What happened to the 5 foolish? They couldn't go in because they were not good stewards. The talent, same thing. The man says, I'm going to give you talents. I'm going to hand it to you. He gives them what they don't own, and he says, watch my stuff. He leaves. What does he tell them? Watch my stuff, I'll be back. The guy with 10 talents, 5 talents, what does he do? He goes and makes more. The guy with 3 or 2 talents, what does he do? The guy with 1 talent, what does he do? He buries it. And you find out that it's not enough just to bring God back what he gave you. So a steward is not just faithful, but a steward is also productive. A steward's got to be productive. And the lost coin, the lost coin, the miners. All these things talk about stewardship. So stewardship was a big issue because God rewards stewards who are productive. God rewards stewards who are faithful. But he punishes stewards who are unproductive and who are lazy. So God rewards stewards who are productive. So the question I can ask myself is, man, am I being productive? Am I being lazy and fearful? Whoop. So if you say, I didn't want to do that, I felt like the Lord was telling me to do that, but I was scared. When you understand stewardship, you say, that's not a good excuse. I didn't want to do what the Lord told me because I was afraid that I might fail. That's not a good excuse. I didn't want to do what the Lord told me because I was a little timid. But what I did do, because I'm conservative, I kept exactly what the Lord had. So think about it, saints. When you think about stewardship and your life, how productive have you been with what God gave you? Stop looking at anybody else. Just look at what you are managing. Stop looking at whatever, if I could sing. That ain't your gift to manage. If I could do this. That's not your gift to manage.
Thank you for worshiping with us today. If you liked this message, you can find the rest at cmllcstore.com. We invite you to join us again for our extraordinary worship services every Sunday at 10:30 a.m., Sundays at 4 p.m., and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central, where Dr. Moody teaches how to understand the Bible, and you can get all your biblical questions answered. We look forward to connecting with you. We ask that you subscribe to The Rock ATX on YouTube and follow The Rock ATX on Facebook and Instagram to stay connected to all The Rock is doing. You can also get connected on our website at therockatx.org. Again, thank you for worshiping with us, and be blessed.